public limited company and multinational company and so on. But I was the promoter of all those companies. There were certain JVs with our government of India also, but I don't think my role has changed. My role was one, how to take forward my idea, how to make my company profitable, and how to keep things in line. In crude language, we all have seen Guru, where Abhishek Bachchan said, in the presence of, I think we all have seen, that's a very appropriate dialogue to mention, कि मैं नहीं जानता ये टैक्स क्या है, वो टैक्स क्या है, ये टैक्स क्या है, मैं कपड़ा बनाना जानता हूँ, मैं अपने धंधे का मजबूत खिलाड़ी हूँ, मैं खुद के लिए भी और अपने इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए पैसे बनाना जानता हूँ. अगर ये गुनाह है तो मुझे आप सजा दीजिए. I think every passion, every businessman, every promoter, every visionary, every entrepreneur starts with that language. And later on, he finds that there are a lot of obstacles, a hurdle race. As far he is going, he is finding more hurdles. Since morning, we are talking about regulations. Board metrics, board constitution. I think the ground reality is board constitution is similar to a council of minister of a prime minister. A promoter who promotes the company wants a harmonious board. He won't bring an activist on his board, ever. A person who is a strong, hard-headed critic, he will never choose him. Yes, it can be brought onto him by some of his investors. But he would look for nothing. Board meetings, I have attended hundreds of them. I am pretty sure all of you have attended hundreds of them. 99% time of a board meeting goes into the real business. 1% there are agenda items of CSR and other society, giving back to society is there, that is just a gesture. It is simply passed normally without even a remark onto it. Just minutes are drawn and everybody accepts it, just to show that yes, what it is, why it is. Let's find the reason why it is. 1.5 million companies are registered in India. Only 7,000 are listed. I would like to ask Mr. I don't think this is an encouraging percentage. More than 100,000 companies wound up in the last 3 years. There was a big article out of it. What business we are looking at? Opportunities. He said that our kids are going to Dubai. Our kids are going to US for study. It's truth. Even my kids are going. But our colleges are closing. In the last 5 years, more than 50% of colleges in everybody's city, they have closed down. Whenever we have a growth pattern, it is haphazard. And whenever there is a downturn, it is also haphazard. One first information report filed against any company or its director changes its fortune. And in court of law, what is being told? It's just an information investigation has yet to take place. But his fortune is ended. Nobody wants to deal with him. Matrix of board. Another thing, women should be there. I would like to apprise you. 2 women entrepreneurs, directors of a private limited company, they do not get funding. Banks do not fund them. They want a male member to be a co-borrower. If any banker is there, so this is the ground reality. We must look forward. We must look forward, but from where we have to go where? What's our present position and what position we want to make? I think this 1.5 million company should have at least 25% companies listed. We need to check how to encourage people to go public. Businesses. I think board, business company, they are for one cause. They are thought about somebody has seen some future in that particular idea. He has put up his hard-earned money into it. He has borrowed loan, and from there a journey of a company starts. Idea should be sustainable. All out of 7,000 listed companies, how many are small cap, middle, whatever you say, how many are actually traded on the platforms, on the BSE or NSE? I think that number should go. Why it is not happening? Trust. Trust has to be developed. Trust in system and trust in us. But सबसे पहले तो रोटी चाहिए, basic requirement. Technologies, we are trying to make this world better place to live, no doubt about it. We were talking about gas, we were talking about sustainable energy, we were talking about e-vehicles and transformation from the fossil fuel to the electricity and other things. Very good idea. But are we looking at to make world affordable? 90% people of the world are poor. They do not get food even what they want. And we are banning food, we are taxing food. Many countries have put over 20% custom duty on food items. We are a global company. What is to be done? First of all, a business idea which is globally compatible, which is globally suitable, which is globally acceptable, which reduces the transaction cost, which reduces the gap between buyer and seller, are to be developed. We at Tradologie, of course, this is not a platform, but because business is also being discussed, international relationship, our capability as an Indian is being discussed. I would like to take this opportunity to take your just 3 minutes and would like to present a small presentation through video. Kindly go through, then I'll explain it. Kindly, if you.
In the world that has gone digital, majority of bulk agro trade continues to happen via commercial trade hubs in different parts of the world. Importers and exporters at these trade hubs spend huge sums of money and time to obtain products and business opportunities. However, these trade hubs present their own set of challenges: unverified partners, insecure payment channels, brokers, middlemen, etc. Not anymore. For the first time in history of world trade, a complete and comprehensive, tech-based solution has emerged, bringing global bulk trade of commodities at people's fingertips. Welcome to Tradologie.com. Tradologie is distinguished in being the only transaction-oriented B2B platform in the world that currently connects buyers and sellers of agro-commodities and facilitates bulk trade between them. With a network of over 600,000 verified buyers and 70,000 plus verified sellers from over 150 countries, who are currently dealing in food and agro-commodities, Tradologie.com is looking to expand into the metal segments like steel, copper, aluminum and bullion in the near future. To further assist the exporters, the team is currently working towards integrating logistics support and solutions which will help them connect with shipping lines and insurance agents through the platform from anywhere in the world. Since its inception in 2015, Tradologie.com has facilitated trade in excess of $4 billion till date and is currently working on a run rate to achieve global trade facilitation in excess of $3 billion in the present fiscal year 2023-24. The platform aims to cross the $50 billion mark in next 5 years. Let's understand how Tradologie works. In comparison to the orthodox and prevailing methods of international trade where involvement of multiple brokers and middlemen drive up prices by more than 10%, Tradologie.com facilitates trade at a mere 1% to create a profitable alternative for both the buyers and sellers. The platform offers live access to verified buyers and sellers across boundaries through its live negotiation module that helps buyers and sellers conclude deals in a matter of hours. We enable sellers to directly reach out to our pool of 600,000 plus verified buyers and access their requirements on a daily basis, while on the other hand, a buyer can similarly share his/her requirement to 70,000 plus suppliers through the digital platform without any subscription charges. Once a contract is awarded to a seller, Tradologie.com helps facilitate the entire process until delivery of the final product, and assists at each step to both buyers and sellers. In line with the Prime Minister's vision to make India a $20 trillion economy by 2047, which involves becoming a growth-centric and self-reliant economy, Tradologie strives to bring about this change by connecting people directly with the power of technology. We aim to empower even the smallest of businesses for maximum profitability and overall growth of our economy, by simplifying international trade and bringing it to a completely digital environment. We present people opportunities to market their products to the world to generate sales and also create visibility for lesser-known brands and businesses. Trade on Tradologie.com saves time, money, efforts, and more importantly makes the trade 100% broker-free, making it the go-to hub for the future of world trade. All this from a company truly made in India for the world.
Thank you. Thank you. I have certain points related to this. What is the ethos of Tradologie? Reduce the cost of transaction from 10% to 1%, so that 9% can be shared between buyer and seller. And ultimately, it will definitely benefit the common man, because we are into commodity. As Mr. Srinivasan said, bullion. There are multiple hurdles in creating exchange in India. We are trying to solve it. Currency fluctuation, devaluation. From IOD's platform, I suggested in UAE, in Dubai, the people who were present there, it was well taken by Government of India as well as UAE, and they had a MOU signed very recently with our Honorable Prime Minister to trade in local currency. What are the benefits of local currency? Because hedging goes away. One side hedging goes away, which brings down the cost. These kind of innovative solutions are to be found with our partner countries to give a Indian businessman, Indian companies, a secured way to transact. My exact suggestion was to UAE and Indian government was that since UAE has a fixed rate regime with US dollar, they can extend the similar. Mr. Srinivas, you are the best man to comment on it later, to India. They are already insulated. With them, if it is a CEPA, it is a partnership, then it becomes a global hub for our export. Our exporters are completely insulated for any kind of currency fluctuation. The impact of currency fluctuation, Pakistan, we have seen where it has gone in last 1 year. Their currency has devalued. So these kind of, we should be sensitive about our currency. If we are not able to sustain that currency level, we should have these kind of innovative arrangements with other countries. At Tradologie, we are very soon bringing the Euro trade also. We'll give an option to a global buyer that this is the price in dollar and this is in price in euro. And to partner countries, this is the rupee trade, it's already running. These kind of innovative ideas, yes, we found it very difficult to establish this mechanism. Last year we did around 11,500 crore facilitation of trade. But it could not come to my books, because bringing money to India and sending it to some other country, how lengthy and how tricky that process is. So we don't touch money. Money goes directly from the buyer to the seller. Isn't it a risk to my business? But we mitigated it. We worked very hard on it. And that's why we are growing at least 100% every year. These kind of business decisions are governed by a visionary. I am not talking about Tradologie. Every company has a prime minister and his council of ministers as directors, without any gender bias, without any other things, he wants a harmonious vote. This is the ground reality. We must educate our directors, no doubt about it. Social responsibility. Another small point, I would like to touch upon. Why these default happens? Nobody thinks about that. Default has happened. This company has defaulted this. This company has defaulted this. Defaults, I think Madam Shefali will agree with me, comes out of a crisis. Any kind of crisis forces you to cut short. No one likes to just default on tax payments. No one likes to default on bank payments. No one likes, as an entrepreneur who has made such a big company, wants to default. Who is a listed company, it comes out of very few percent, I think not even 1% entrepreneur are habitual defaulters. They default because their company becomes in crisis. And unfortunately, our Indian financial system immediately disowns you the moment he senses any problem in the company. We have seen just with one rumor and a thought that one company must have done this, without any proof and without any investigation, how much our investors and that particular group lost. I think there should be a different regime. I have few suggestions for the deliberations of the day. Number one, all regulations are being made considering company like a 7,000 company, not 1.5 million companies. What to do? Segregate them. You said a separate laws for listed companies. Present laws are perfectly all right. They are every day becoming better and better and better. Less defaults are there. So first part is segregate them from the 2013 company law, or create a separate chapter for them. Then there are closely held public companies, public limited companies. If I have many, if some crisis in that companies, I cannot raise funds for short term from my family member. My brother cannot lend me, my mother cannot lend me, my sister cannot lend me. I cannot take, I need to find some other solution. Here, the crisis management is not possible. I think it is unjustified. There is some leeway, there is some elbow room for private limited company. I think Madam will agree with me, but for the moment you are aspirant of listing your company, and for fulfilling that aspiration, you make your company from private limited to limited company. Certain regulations do not give a life waste in case of you are drowning. So you have to give away that. So I think a closely held company and a listed company should be dealt with separately. There should be less stringent laws. I am a global company. What kind of incentives are needed? We are setting up our base in Europe, where no country can give on its own any soap to any company. It has to be approved by the Luxembourg, European Union. A set of impact study goes, they are offering me 9% income tax for next 5 years. These kind of solutions are to be innovated, and we are into capable hands. We are having excellent leadership, what we had ever. We are trying to fulfill his ambitions under his leadership, but I think many more steps from many more areas, including IOD, these kind of suggestions should be floated around, and I am sure there is someone listening us. I have experienced it very, very recently in March. What we said, I think Lieutenant General Saab will agree with me, what we said there was responded well by our government. It was implemented. It's under implementation, and it will definitely benefit the Indian exporters, and similar kind of solutions are possible. That's all. Thank you very much for listening to me patiently.
A very, very insightful session, offered great learnings for all of us. Thank you, Ms. Guraria, for moderating it so well. Before we see our distinguished speakers off, we would like to felicitate them with the IOD mementos, and I request Mr. Desh Deepak Verma, IAS retired, former Secretary General Rajya Sabha, Presently President Ames Gorakhpur and Independent Director JSW Energy Limited to please come on stage and felicitate the speakers. We would like to start with Mr. Injetti Srinivas, IAS retired and former chairman of IFSCA. Thank you, sir, for joining us this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Shefali Guradi. Always a pleasure to listen to you. Mr. R. Gopalakrishnan, Independent Director and Non-Executive Chairman, Castrol India Limited, for gracing us with his presence for the Directors Conclave.